Hello, everybody. How y'all doing this weekend? This is Ken Faulkner, and I'm coming to you with another knife video because I got a lot of knives and I just haven't had enough time to bring them all to you yet. From Blade Show, I think I picked up somewhere in the area of what is it, about 15, 16, maybe 18 knives while I was there. I've given some away, but I still have 15 of them right now. So a couple of them I've already shown you. Here's one that I'm really excited about. There's a couple of reasons. Um, this is a American Blade Works. This is the Model 1 V6 version 6. Um, if you've been around YouTube videos or Instagram or anything like that, you've seen people talking about them. USA made company. Getting close here. See on that pivot, made in the USA. And not only is it a USA made company, but it is a company that is basically a one-man operation. I got to meet the man himself. Although I was trying to meet him when I was in Atlanta Blade Show, but I ended up missing out on that opportunity. And I'm terrible with names, right? But I'm looking it up. I think it's Michael Martin is his name. But this guy does all his machining. He does CNC. If you're familiar with that, that's a machine that's controlled by a computer based off of either 3D model or tooling paths, things like that, to cut out these. So it's like a production knife because it's having parts made in multiples, not by hand but by machine. But there's a lot of work that goes into doing a CNC type design, and once you got it in there, you can run the parts. But he actually, and he told me this himself when I saw him at Blade Show West in Utah, that he is actually making all these little screws here. There's a lot of USA-made companies that have sourced their parts from other people, either sub-vendors in the USA or maybe getting the little pieces like the pivots and things like that, even overseas, but the rest of the knife's made in the USA. But this guy is doing it all himself, and that is pretty darn impressive. And he is seeing a good amount of popularity, I believe. He was a popular booth there at the show, and I was excited. I tried to get one of these knives at Atlanta, and I guess he sold out. That's how well he was doing. And by the time I found, because Atlanta's so huge, it's so hard to find. I'm not great with checking the maps and all that, and there's so many other things to see, so I just got distracted. By the time I got around to where I actually found where his booth was, it was over for him as far as the show. But I did go there early this time. I learned my lesson. Sometimes an old dog can learn new tricks, and I figured it out. Part of the reason why I wanted to get this knife is I, up to this point, had not gotten a knife in Magna Cut. This is my first Magna Cut blade. I'm not a big steel snob, but I've heard so many good things about Magna Cut. Being an engineer, I'm kind of interested in the way it was all put together and really thought out. So that's cool. Plus, as a collector, you always want to get certain special things in your collection. That's part of being a collector of knives. And as my collecting gets more and more extensive and more expensive, I'm trying to get some of this more premium stuff. You can see that the scales are micarta. This is the V1. There's a V2 came out with titanium. I like titanium. You've seen a few of those from me on other videos, but I'm also a big fan of micarta, especially when it has a good grip to it. When it's that kind of micarta that's slick and doesn't have that texture, you can see, I get it up close, you can really see that texture there in the micarta. Now, what's the point? What's the point of having, I mean, micarta is strong material, but otherwise, I mean, you really do want to have some kind of grip, and that's why my favorite titanium knives are the ones with milling in them to get a little bit of texture. But this has just got a natural, the way that micarta is made with some kind of a cloth-like material and resin to give it the strength and the machinability and whatnot. It's just, you know, if you do it right, you can really get that cool texture. Plus, you get this, you can see here, there's getting all this kind of patina sort of thing. It's not like a steel patina. This is the oils of your skin. And it gets in there and it kind of changes the colors. You know, some people might like to have just to have everything just exactly one pattern or just all one color, but I kind of think this is cool. It kind of gives it a, I don't know, a used kind of look, while not affecting the quality of the material or anything like that. But it kind of has a cool, almost like a natural kind of feel to it. So anyway, let's flick this guy out. It's a good sized blade. Another thing I really like about this, and if you understand the CNC process, there's obviously a tool going through and cutting this blade along the horizontal direction, because you can see as I zoom in that there's these lines here, and you can actually feel them as you go down. And that is, it is a monosteel. It's not like it's a Damascus where you got different layers there, but that is just the way the tool cutting was done, so that there's these lines. And when I first saw that, I was wondering if that was going to have an impact on the cutability of the knife. It was going to drag as you go through the cut. But even cutting paper and things like that, it really does not cause any kind of drag that I can feel. This thing cuts great. I mean, Magna Cut, it's got a great edge that came from the factory, if you want to call it a factory. I don't know if he's probably either got like his own little shop that he works out of, or maybe he's working out of his garage. I'm not sure. He was there at the show with his wife, so it's obviously a family thing. Very cool dude. Very nice to talk to. That's a big plus to being able to go to the shows. You be able to meet these guys. So anyway, yeah, good knife. I do like the size. It's a good full-size knife. Get out the fancy ruler. We're talking about not quite, well, about 3 1/4 inch blade. And then the handle is going to be about 4 1/2 overall, and then there's the gripping area where your hand is going to hold it is about 3 3/4. So even if you don't choke up, and you do have that option up here to choke up, even if you don't choke up, it's still going to give you a good 4-finger grip. Nice jimping on the back, on that spine. Nice drop point blade. Just simple, nothing super fancy. Simple, clean design, but very functional. He's got it's the ladder lock, because you know usually with a micarta you're going to end up with a ladder lock. You don't really have that flexible locking ability that you would have with a titanium or some other type of scales like that. But it works great. It's not too thin. It's got good lockup there. So I have no concerns with that. Yeah, it's a great knife. Captive hip pivot. You can actually see the way he's designed it. He's got the flat in there as it sinks into the scale, and that's going to keep that from spinning. And you got this other one that is going to spin. I wanted to make a quick thing. I guess you would say it's a follow-up on one of the knives that I got at Blade Show that I did a video on the other day. And I was talking about it, and it's this Rosecraft, and I'm going to get it out of the case here. I just want to say something real quick on this, because I hadn't found out about this until later, and some people may have issue with it, and I just wanted to bring it up. I don't particularly have a super major issue with it, but you remember this knife, this would be Rosecraft. Let me see if I get the name. Bad with names once again. The Rosecraft. Castoria. Yeah, Castoria. The one that looks like a Barlow. So if you haven't seen that video yet, it's like one back. It's a button lock. The problem that I found was that the action wasn't quite what I was looking for, and I was going to take it apart and clean it. It's a little bit soft. Button lock can be that way. It doesn't really snap. So I was hoping that I can clean it out. But then I went to take it apart. So I just want to kind of let you know that when I went to take this screw out, this was spinning on the other side. And you can see that this side is almost like a rivet. So it's more like what you'd see in a slip joint type knife, where you can't really take them apart because it's more of like a rivet look. It's probably threaded, and I might be able to find a way to capture that from the outside, get a cloth on there and squeeze down on it, but I wasn't able to take it apart. So I just wanted to bring that up. I mean, there's a tiny little bit of movement too that I wasn't able to tighten out of it. So just just to give you fair warning if that's something that bothers you. Keep an eye out for that if you decide you're thinking about getting this knife, just in case. So anyway, with that said, going back to American Blade Works, no issues with that here. I got great centering. Oh, it might be a little bit over to one side. Didn't really notice that before, but it definitely does not move. But let's see. We're getting close here. It looks like it might be over to the show side slightly. There's not a lot of room in there for being off center. But certainly it's not rubbing or anything like that. The action on this is excellent. Very, very good. And obviously tightening the pivot with the captive on this side, it's not going to be an issue. Some comparison knives. You know, I got the Rat 2 a long time ago because everybody was talking about it, and they came out finally with a D2 steel, and they call it the Rat 2 R2D2. And then for the longest time, I didn't have the Rat 1. But then since I'm doing the channel, you see a lot of people doing the comparison. But I don't even know, because I mean, I didn't even have these knives until more recently. I don't know if everybody has those knives, but if you do, you can kind of see that this is right in between. It's almost like right, just, in the middle. But two knives that I'm more familiar with, and maybe you would be too. I was trying to look for knives that more people might have in their collection. So this is a VV Elementum and the Spyderco Para 2. And again, same thing. You kind of got a slightly smaller knife, and then it's slightly shorter, smaller than the Para 2. So that gives you an idea of the size. Not overly large. Maybe not as large as I kind of look for in a knife, but still, it was well worth it to me to pick this guy up. American Blade Works. I would definitely recommend this one. If you want to get something in Magna Cut, it's a really reasonable price for that. It's between the $200 to $300 price range. Probably I think it was like $260-ish or something like that. And I don't know if that was a deal for the show, but I know that it's under $300 and in Magna Cut and good quality American made. So that makes it a good value in my book. So that's it for today. Moving through the Blade Show knives. I still got quite a few. So I'll be keep an eye out. I'll be bringing some more. I'm moving along up in the subscribers. So once I get up to about 400, I'm going to be doing a giveaway for sure. So don't know how long it's going to take, but we'll just keep an eye on it, and I'll let you know as we get closer. All right, guys, you have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.